Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I am Stephanie, and I am the acting Aquarian for the month of February because we are celebrating our lovely Aquarius brothers and sisters. Happy birthday to all you Aquarians out there. I love to have fun on this channel. That is part of it. We have to keep things light. We're looking into a lot of deep and serious energies at times, so let's have some fun. I think of all signs, Gemini can appreciate that. This is Blazer the Morkie. He's my little assistant. Sometimes he barks, sometimes he sleeps, but he's always having fun too. He loves to play. He has indestructible toys as well. So those of you with little destroyers know what I mean. He can't have just any toy. They have to be the super strong, indestructible ones. Otherwise, like, it's his purpose and mission to destroy. We are here with your February monthly reading. We're going to do a lovely Celtic cross today. We're going to pull your overall energy and get an oracle card at the end. We're going to have all kinds of good information coming your way. Do keep in mind, these are general readings, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. I recommend checking out your sun, moon, rising, or north node for additional context and texture. And then also be sure to check the description below. I don't want to go too much into it because I want to get into your reading. However, I do offer personal readings. Be sure to join the live community here every Friday, every other Sunday. I even do little mini readings on those Sunday evenings, so join us. I'm so happy to have new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. Check everything out. You can get in touch with me on social media as well. It's all there in the description below, so check it out at your leisure. And I think that's all. Let's get into your overall energy, Gemini. For February, this one here. Got to put my glasses on so I can see these lovely cards. Okay, Gemini, you got lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. Amazing, Gemini. Okay. I'm also seeing kind of the Gemini symbol in the pillars of this archway here. It kind of looks like the Arc de Triomphe, but different. So I wanted to mention that. Lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. So some of you may be having some of those ancient memories come up. You're that old soul and you just don't know how you know things, but you just know things, right? And it's coming up into your awareness. Your current energy is the Nine of Wands. Okay, that would make sense with lost lands, and you've done this before. The Nine of Wands can be a really reflective card into your bloodlines, into your soul codes, into your ancestry, and it would be a card of contemplation. It would be a card of really getting real with what has been and what has come before you. And this is being challenged by the energy of the Ten of Swords. So some of you may be honestly working on healing ancestral patterns. There could be some things about your bloodline or your family that you're not super proud of, and you're determined to end the cycles with you and bring the gate down on that. It is a bit challenging, right? Because when those pressures land on a certain individual in the family, it can feel quite heavy. So it's like you have the pressure, the knowledge, the wisdom, the fears, the thoughts, the emotions of all your ancestors before you pouring down and raining down on you as you try to release the pattern and change it into something completely different. Your needed focus is the Seven of Pentacles. You're really going to have to nurture yourself while you're going through these more powerful energies in the month of February. It's important to slow down. It's important to gather your comforts and your resources around you. Maybe some friends, I get like a circle of friends for some of you. If you're that extroverted type and it helps you to process by being in a social circle, I would very much encourage you to do that at this time. In the past, you're leaving behind the Wheel of Fortune, and in this case, it feels to me like you're leaving behind any kind of resentment or anger you have against the fate, the fate of your family, what you've had to deal with, what your family's had to heal through, what your ancestry has had to heal through, what you've been through as a part of these cycles. Okay, so there's this coming to accept the wheel of fate, the wheel of time, the norns as they weave, as they take apart and put together again. Really what I get is in your makeup right now is really to break free of certain cycles, and that's what you're really focused on. In the future, you get the Seven of Wands. Now, this can at times come off the back of something feeling quite defensive. So you could be like, man, this is hard. You know, I have all these people who came before me. For some of you, could be dealing with resolution on your own soul level. It may have nothing to do with your bloodline. For some of you, this may have to do with your own personal journey, forgiving past versions of yourself for the mistakes that they made. We do this very subconsciously because it's the part of ourselves that's constantly connected to the greater whole and the universal timeless energy, right? You're really taking me there, Gemini. You're taking me into that. But all of this defensiveness and the resentment and the change and the releasing of the patterns, all of this is putting you at such a fair vantage point. It's putting you at a high vantage point for you to be able to understand. And when you understand, you will be able to resolve this, okay? There's something that has to click mentally for you. I see that in your place of empowered embodiment. You get the Ace of Swords. You are determined to have that new beginning and all new thought processes, thoughts and beliefs around how things are going to go, which means that once that is in alignment within you, you will be able to apply that to your creative energy, which honestly, Gemini, that feels really good. Like you're finally going to be creating the future that you want outside of the restrictions of the past, whether it be your past on a soul level, your ancestry, your family's past. So there are some ghosts there, probably. There's some hauntings. I get this kind of haunting feeling, but I also am getting that you're letting that go, as challenging as it may be. In your supports and allies, you have the Queen of Cups. So this is a much more gentle energy coming in. It could be one of your sacred ancestors, maybe perhaps someone along the way, a female. I get that maybe tried to make some progress here, but was unable to do the work that has now fallen on your shoulders. This could also be a version of yourself that gives yourself grace, that is more gentle with you, that knows that how important it is for you to not lose yourself completely in this, because while you are resolving it for everyone in your line or all the past versions of yourself, you'll have to remember that there is still support around you. You have cheerleaders, you have people that if you fall, they are catching you, right? And this could be both in incarnate people or people that are on the other side. It's just you feel that hug when you need it, or that feather crosses your path as a symbol, as a totem. That bird flies by your window. So in your environment, you have the Page of Cups. This is nice. I like this as well. This is you actually approaching your emotions with curiosity, not trying to make them be any certain way, not trying to even attribute labels to your emotions, but just to tune into how the emotion feels and what purpose it serves. I feel in this way, you're not detaching from the emotions, but you are giving yourself gentle space. And in this case, I feel like that is appropriate. I do not feel like you're disconnected. I do not feel like you are ignoring or trying to avoid here. I feel like you're giving it space to be what it is, but you're also having your own space to observe and be curious and have more of an interaction from questions and energies passing back and forth, rather than you being activated and it being in your body and disassociation and stuff like that. You have this approach that is helping you. Maybe it is from your physical environment here. Something is making you feel good about the space you're working in. For your hopes and fears, you get the Five of Pentacles, very much the feeling of, am I going to be able to do this? Can I break the cycle? Or is it going to, how are my children, if you have children, how are my children going to have to deal with this? I really hope that I can protect them in all this. I really hope that I can keep them from having to deal with the things that I have had to deal with. Now, for your potential outcome, you get the Eight of Wands. This is wild, free horses, in this case, unicorns, moving very quickly. I think you're going to be able to resolve this more quickly than anyone ever has in your line, as far as the time frame with which you're dealing with the energy. There's new transformation, there's transformative energies rushing in at the end of February here. So I really like that, because it's hard to carry that fear of future generations being impacted. That's a heavy burden and a weight. So the universe would like you to know the energies are going to shift and change, and something new is coming in. Feels more wild and free, feels more undefined, and I like that. I like that for you. Whew, deep breath. Okay, Gemini, let's do our clarifiers. We're going to clarify this Nine of Wands. There's that Queen of Cups that's also in your support and allies, and the Two of Wands. So you may be well aware that you do have some support here. It may be very physical, somebody that you just feel very connected, heart to heart. You can have heart to heart conversations. Also, I sense that whatever energy this is, there's also the energy of philosophy. There's also the study involved with this Two of Wands here. And there's this ability to see outside of time, where you can come up at levels above and beyond time, but you can also see the effect within time. Very interesting there how you're doing that. You're doing it very peacefully, very calmly. So what's challenging you is this Ten of Swords. Why? Why is this Ten of Swords challenging? Because Ten of Swords is like a mini death. The Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. There are times as you're dealing with this where it is very difficult for you to wrap your mind around why some people, and that could be past versions of yourself that you've become aware of, have taken the actions that they've taken. There might be some frustration here, and possibly a little bit of anger toward the past, toward people who had the knowledge and ability to do something about this and didn't do it. This could also be a bit of a block in the sense that you're putting a little too much mental pressure on yourself, Gemini. You are very intelligent. You have a lot of mental capacity and acuity. However, this work that you're doing here is about the soul. It's a very soul level, soul memories and gifts. And so as you're navigating through, make sure that you are offering space to the soul level energies, not only the mental knowledge about it, because we want to gain the wisdom as well. And I completely understand why you would be frustrated with previous generations, especially someone who knew something was happening and it was wrong, and they didn't do anything about it. There's kind of this, in this Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, kind of get the Justice card feeling for you, like, it's challenging to think that someone didn't balance this out sooner. Or maybe that you didn't balance out sooner. It could be that you've dropped a bad habit or an addiction or something, and you're just being a little hard on yourself here. That's going to slow you down, so do keep an eye on that there, okay? Yeah, I don't think it's going to stop you entirely, but it will slow down the energies. For the Seven of Pentacles in your needed focus, you get the Magician and the Ten of Swords. So you're attending to the challenge. That's beautiful, okay? You're like, okay, this is challenging, but I'm going to use my magic. I'm going to use the elements available to me. While I do that, I am going to nurture this process. I'm going to be more present with this, not necessarily in my mind, but I am just going to be that more holistic presence with this process. And whereas I could go into overthinking about all the ways that every one of these 10 swords dropped and who dropped each one and what part they had in it, right? You could really get granular with this and overthink it. Instead of doing that, which is very burdensome and tiresome, you're going to be more holistically present with these energies. And that is going to bring you more into that soul level energy, which is going to help you move through this a lot better. So I like that. I like that. Stay focused on that. Let's look at this Wheel of Fortune in the past position. The Strength card and the King of Wands. I'm getting a couple of different things here, Gemini, in this past position. The Wheel of Fortune clarified by the Strength card and the King of Wands. On the one hand, this could very much have to do with some of the masculine energies of your ancestry or the masculine energies that run through you that you've become aware of. Maybe an aspect of your ego or of the egos of the men in your family. This energy feels like for quite some time it had like an iron grasp on everything, like it was holding on so tight. And then that Wheel of Fortune, came in. And there's this grind that I feel in this energy where it's no small feat to clear out the energies that you are clearing out. But since we have that Lost Lands card and it says on there you've done this before, that tells me that you can get into this Magician energy. That tells me that you have, for some of you, I'm getting you are mystics, you are shaman, and you are able to very powerfully move through energies that previously had a powerful grasp, okay? So there's this element of faith. Have faith in yourself. You've done this before and you'll do it again. And you've chosen this for a reason and you will rise all the greater, and you're doing it like there's a noble purpose in this as well. I really think this is part of, and this has come up a couple times here, but this is part of your what you came to accomplish in this life. This is a very noble purpose. This is very deep shamanic work. You are really up against some things personally for yourself and for your family line. So have that faith in yourself. You've done this before. Your soul is so much greater than all of the little, remember each of these little 10 swords, all the little details, your soul is so much greater and will overcome. The 7 of Wands is clarified by the Page of Swords and the 8 of Wands. Okay, so we have movement here, and we have movement because you have released some of the energy, or there's some sort of justice or balance that has been brought to your mental space with that page. When we get into the page energies, they are youthful, young, learning, okay? There's no qualms about being inexperienced, yet they are, but they just are at that place, and it allows them, it actually frees up energy from these 10 of Swords energies to be more curious and to begin to use the sword to cut through BS, okay? Instead of focusing on how the BS landed previously and how it was slung and where it went, now you're able to use the sword. And this energy is moving you from the 7 to the 8 of Wands, which is the potential outcome. And remember, I'm getting this feeling of freedom, of wildness, and it's quite powerful. And I absolutely love it for you. I do. I love this 8 of Wands. But this is all connected to your noble purpose. I love the word noble, right? Work with that word maybe. You love words, you're smart, you love etymology. Some of you can really get into that and study that, okay? And this isn't nobility like some, controlling king or queen. I'm talking more about from the heart, noble energy, right? Okay, Ace of Swords for you in that empowered, embodied place within yourself. You get the Hermit, beautiful, and the 5 of Cups. One of the things that really helps you master these energies and really helps your magic grow is giving yourself time to balance out the emotional and the mental. Okay, you have that curiosity just naturally as a Gemini. You love to learn, you love education, you love to educate yourself. But it's also important to educate yourself on feelings and emotions and emotional intelligence. Some of you will want to look in your chart to where you may have the emotional Pisces, Cancerian energies, and maybe pull those forth into your awareness a bit. The Hermit card is connected to Virgo. So that is going to be someone who can analyze very naturally, though, not necessarily have to put everything in a little category, but somehow they just have the energy that it just expands into that all-knowing. Okay, so that's your place of empowerment. That's cool. Let's look at your support and allies with this Queen of Cups here, Gemini. You get a Queen of Wands and the Seven of Wands. Now remember, these starfish are getting me here. The Seven of Wands you also had in your future position here. So you may already be moving into this energy, and having a Queen of Cups and a Queen of Wands together, that's the best of water, that's the best of fire, that's the best of the emotions, that's the best of the passions here. And I honestly feel for some of you like this is an ancestor from the other side who is stepping in, and they mirror your energy in some way. At times, I know you're very used to the double, right? Your Gemini double, duality, all of that. But you may feel like you have this, that like you, the physical you is walking around, but you have your ancestor like walking beside you. Some of you may out of the corner of your eye just feel like, oh my goodness, is someone there? And there is someone there walking with you, helping you elevate to this next level and confirming for you that you are elevating and you are getting a higher vantage point and you are making progress in all of this. For the Page of Cups, you get the Knight of Wands and the Six of Wands in your environment. Okay, so this was you having that really cool way that you're working with the emotional energy. You've gained some emotional intelligence here. You're feeling very good about it. It's actually helping you move forward with a project or something in your life right now. So it's not like you're just sitting there, Gemini, spending all your time healing this huge ancestral pattern. You're weaving it into your life and you're on the go with your own stuff as well. So don't get me wrong. You're functioning, you're doing stuff, you're cranking stuff out, you're taking a lot of action in the world, and boy, does that feel good to you that you can do it all like that. Your environment is very full. I would think the people in your life would have to be quite understanding. You have to have more mature people in your life who can understand all of the spectacular things you're doing here. For the Five of Pentacles, you get the Page of Cups and the Four of Swords. So the Five of Pentacles was in your hopes and fears. You have the Page of Cups, so there's curiosity again. Let's get curious here about why I would feel that fear. What does that fear feel like that my children or the future generations or the future version of me would not be protected from this energy? And it absolutely will be. Why? Because the healing is happening here with the Four of Swords, right? So we're going to love the healing process. We're actually maybe even going to be taking a look at this because you do like to use your intelligence. Look at the healing process. Some of you, I would definitely encourage you to be reading books on emotional energy, healing processes, like the self-healing kind of things. That is really going to be helpful for you right now. It will appease your intellect, but it will also help you move through this unique way you have of working with these emotions, which, remember, I said it's not disconnected, but it is, there's just some sort of neutrality there that I really like about how you're handling that. Let's look at this Eight of Wands in the potential outcome. The Eight of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Yes, we're walking away from the old way. And we're not just walking away from it, we're feeling it. We feel the letting go of the past with that eight. Eights are movement, momentum, right? and you have 2 of them here, and then you have the movement into the 10 of Cups, a much more fulfilling energy. And if you are healing ancestral lines or family issues, this is what we want it to be. Okay, the 10 of Cups, it's the rainbow, it's the everything's in place, it's the family patterns are being healed, much more freedom, a lot more freedom, a lot more freedom is coming in as a result of this. Freedom to explore. Maybe your family was tightly knit in only one certain area, and maybe you're the one who's begun traveling, and so your kids will be able to continue that. Maybe there's ecosystem changes that are happening within the family that are going to be really helpful. All connected to your purpose. You came here to do this. This is one of the things, not the only thing, one of the things you came here to do. All right, Gemini, let's get you a card from the Fairy Dust Oracle to close off the reading. These are fun, short little cards just to put the icing on the cake and the cherry on top. Whoop, that one comes flying out for you. Okay, Gemini, you got sleep. Underneath the nighttime skies, fairies sing you lullabies. All right, sleep is important for you, Gemini. And why? Because that's when your subconscious mind is going to be activated. And a lot of what you're doing in your conscious daily life is going to be strongly supplemented by good sleep and really giving the dreams a chance to process and all of those subconscious energies to work themselves out. Sleeping is so healing and therapeutic and important. If you are having trouble sleeping, Gemini, for some of you, I get that's the case. Make sure, maybe get a sleep study, go talk to a specialist, make sure you have the proper surroundings when you sleep, because it's vastly important to you right now. Gemini, thank you so much for joining this monthly reading, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll see you next time.